And so what are some of the pitfalls that maybe some businesses might run into when they're looking at distribution?
Yeah, they're constantly underestimating, believe it or not, the ease of it or the importance of it. It's execution. Execution is so very important, but if it's not on shelf, it's not for sale.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about Marion Roberts juice if it's not on shelf.
Right.
So distribution trusts us, and so does retail, and our team is incredible.
Welcome to the Big Biz Show, featuring insight, analysis, and a lot of stuff that's none of your business.
Hold on. This is the Big Biz Show. I think it is their business.
Making the markets work for you. Here's the man with the plan, Sully.
Hey there, live from the Draper Goren Blockchain Studios at Lock 100.
Look at that.
Big Biz Show's on the air. Coming up next, our daily blockchain feature sponsored by DraperGorenBlockchain.com. Look who I got. See how I roped you in there, Alon?
I love it. I'm now a sponsor. I mean, I feel like a big shot.
Well, you are a big shot. You've been with us for a long time. First of all, I just saw today, I think, in the news. I don't know if you read this yesterday, but I saw it just recently, a couple of minutes ago, that you are now DGB, which is Tim Draper, Alon Goren, David Blesnick launching the DGB to incubate crypto startups. Is that accurate?
That's right. We actually announced it this morning. So I planned it all around being here, so I'm excited to be here.
So listen, when I first met you, I'm going to say 5 years ago, and you've been a regular and a good friend and a mentor to us and a contributor. You were in crowdfunding and startup fundraising in general. Remember the days of those angel investing versus venture capital versus online investing, and that very quickly changed to real estate crowdfunding. And then it went into Crowd Invest Summit, which was one of your events, and then it moved into blockchain and crypto. Talk about where we are in the future here, because there's still sort of this crowdfunding, I think, political will out there with startups. Yeah. I just don't know if it actually exists the way it did before. And I do think, because it is so difficult, and I can tell you, I'm trusted advisor to several publicly traded companies in NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange market. I don't handle privately held companies anymore because just the access to capital is just so arduous. This is the new frontier for that, is it not? What you folks are doing?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of nailed it when you talked about the progression, right? It's the natural progression of just the way of doing business in this new world, right? When we were, looking at the internet, which it wasn't what it is today, 25 years ago, nobody thought that Amazon would ever go beyond selling books, and even people were skeptical about that. Now there is nothing that we don't do that touches the internet, and it's the same way with every aspect of our life. So it doesn't make sense that those archaic rules in relation to what you're allowed to say publicly or not apply to a startup anymore, right? The information that the average person has about startups or companies is 10-fold, 100-fold what it used to be. And so it doesn't make sense that you would keep somebody out because of any reasons like that, right? So now with crypto, that progression is getting closer to the end, right? Where it used to be that there needed to be middlemen, there needed to be a public exchange to trust, so that you knew when you were buying a share of a company, you were actually getting that, right? Now the company can issue their own shares, even without crypto, right? Just the company can issue their own shares. They could publicly talk about the company legally, and they could do all these things. They could come on your show and say, yeah, we're fundraising, and that's not illegal anymore as long as they follow certain rules.
So let's talk about this. By the way, Alon Goren's our guest. He is our crypto blockchain expert, especially in the realm of crowdfunding as well as privately held company funding. So what do you say to the people that say, okay, I'm starting my new widget company. It's got a great market size. I've got a good pro forma for income. I can prove a good management team. I've got experience, and I want to use crypto to fund this. There are those that are going to say you're creating crypto out of thin air. You and I have had this conversation 100 times at the same time. And there's those that are going to say, okay, do you qualify as a crypto investment? What's the difference there? And talk about really educate the lowest level guy and the highest level guy at the same time.
Yeah, I think for a company to raise money in this way in today's world, you should have a connection to that world, right? If we're doing widgets that have to do with, I don't know, cell phone cases or something, it doesn't make sense. If you were building a hardware wallet for crypto, then maybe it could make sense. But at the end of the day, what's happening in crypto, or what's happening with legitimate crypto companies who are using cryptocurrency to raise money, is that it's a digital form of something that might be a stock. If that's the case, then it should be a security. In the United States, it has to follow certain laws. But at the end of the day, it's really no different than a startup company going on TechCrunch in Silicon Valley and saying, we started today, our paper is worth $10 million.
I love the international flag in the sand that he just did without saying so. Talk about the regulation, because you and I have talked, because that's actually a positive, the fact that there's some FINRA and some SEC oversight over just investing, because before that was part of the issue. Is too much oversight's obviously bad. Not enough oversight's also equally scary for investors. Talk about that.
We're in a pendulum right now where, there's certain things that are good, right? We all think that people who are criminals should be taken down, right? People who defraud people, especially people who are wealthy and defraud the average ones among us who kind of get tricked into these things. That's messed up. Those people should get in trouble tenfold what they're getting in trouble today. But the regulation doesn't really exist for companies in the blockchain and crypto space to do things in a confident way today. So they have to kind of use these archaic old rules and laws and hope and pray that they're doing it right if they're based in the United States. Because what the rules that are there to protect investors are actually just keeping investors away from participating in a lot of really great deals. And criminals don't follow the rules anyway, so that won't stop them. So that's a problem right now, because in our space, a lot of people are going overseas. The biggest crypto conference of the year just happened in Singapore, because Singapore has a really great framework for companies building in that digital space. And I hate to see people leaving the United States to start their companies, but I see it every day.
Well, I think they're going to start changing that because of DGB, if I'm not mistaken.
I hope so. Well, I think we are on a turning point where it is going to get better, because it can't keep this.
Yeah, but we can't keep going sideways like we sort of have been. Hey, listen, first of all, congratulations on DraperGorenBlockchain.com today and DGB. But before I let you out of here, how do we drive folks to you? How can we help you get more looks at deals, or how can we help folks get access to you? What are you guys looking to do, and what's a perfect magic wand that we can wave for you here, since we've got this Bloomberg audience now internationally, and we've got the regular audience on TV and radio? Talk about that a little bit.
I love it, and congratulations to you guys for growing the show over all these years. I remember the first time mentioning crypto and you playing the siren and saying, "I can hear the SEC and FINRA coming after you now."
I remember.
That's a great clip. For us, we want to meet young, not young, doesn't matter age, but young companies.
Early stage companies.
In the early days of the company, right? We want to meet those entrepreneurs, people who are creating something, who are building. We want to be the first check into those companies. We want to be your wingman, help you grow. And if you're an investor who's interested in the space, you can sign up to our newsletter also, and we're happy to give you access
Let's put that out there once again, DraperGorenBlockchain.com. Alon, I want you and Tim and David to come in studio in the next couple of weeks and just spend an hour with us on the phone. We'll do a whole dedicated show to you guys, because you help us so much.
I love it. That would be great.
Thank you, brother. Talk to you soon. Alon Goren. DraperGorenBlockchain.com. DraperGorenBlockchain.com. DGB. You got a company you want to do? Go to the website. You got an investor you want to take a look? Go to the website. We'll get him in studio the next couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah.
More Big Biz coming up. Stand by. He's a big mamma jamma.
Research efforts to discover new antibiotics have stalled. In the post-World War II period following Alexander Fleming's breakthrough discovery of penicillin, new antibiotics were discovered and developed at a breathtaking pace. The golden age of antibiotic discovery peaked in the 1950s, and during this period, the pharmaceutical industry was the engine of innovation. But then, discoveries started dropping drastically from the 1980s onward, with no new antibiotics being produced in nearly 3 decades. Government, industry, and medical communities all agree that in the face of this mounting crisis, efforts to revive and improve the likelihood of successful drug discovery is essential. Enter Acurx Pharmaceuticals. They are a biopharmaceutical company focused on developing new antibiotics for difficult-to-treat infections such as MRSA, VRE, and DRSP. We face new threats every day, big and small. Acurx Pharma is on the front lines of health using technology to help us treat tomorrow's infections today. Acurx Pharmaceuticals.